Good morning, everybody. So glad to have you along. If you look above our studios, you might see some hawks flying over. I don't know what the terminology for a flock of hawks is, but it's too bad that I didn't think of the sound of hawks. I have with us, because we're going to talk about the hawks and their people. who rules them and all that kind of stuff, because they're coming to SuperTalk, by the way, and this is a congratulatory thing. I think it's wonderful because Friday nights, starting this Friday night, Hartfield Hawks will be on SuperTalk, and I think that's a cool thing. And the head of school at Hartfield is David Horner, who's in our studio. And some people might remember that you played college basketball, right, at MC?
I did, long time ago. I don't know if they'll remember that far back.
You getting good at it still?
Every now and then in the mornings before school.
He's about 6'5" or 6'6", I think, tall, right?
Yes.
Like that. It's like he's up there. Well, congratulations on coming here, but congratulations on Hartfield. I mean, it's a Cinderella story, I think.
Well, thank you, Mary, and thanks for having me on. I love talking about our school and the good things God's done there, and a lot of wonderful people there.
Well, for those of us who live in Rankin County, we would remember there's this little school that got developed off of Lakeland years ago. It was called University Christian School. Oh, okay, that's nice. And then the next thing happened, it got bigger, and it was called Hartfield Academy. And I thought, well, now that's pretty cool. And then Hartfield Academy came along and had this little tiny football team, and they were getting creamed. But they are now number one. Congratulations on that. That's great.
Well, thank you, Mary. No, it's a great story to tell. I love sharing the origin story, if I can use that term.
Absolutely. So you've been there for 12 years, so you've seen it grow and blossom, haven't you?
I have. It's been a joy, and I think it was 2012 where a group of leaders in Rankin County decided, hey, there's a need for a college preparatory Christian school in our area. And at the time, University Christian was in a position where they were looking to do something different. Pine Lake Christian School at the time went through 6th grade, and the church didn't see expanding the school as the long-term vision of their ministry. And so both schools decided to close, combine their assets, and start a new school. So for several years, it was thought of as a merging of two schools when it really was different than most starting of schools. And so, boy, I think we've got a lot of wonderful schools in our area, but ours is a unique story, and so it started with a little less than 600 students in 2012.
Now, how many got?
Oh, gosh,
awesome.
It's, a little over 1,300, so
Wow.
about 1,325.
Congratulations. Everybody, if you don't know where they are, I don't know how you couldn't, but they're near IHOP. They're on Luckney Road and Lakeland. You can see them from Lakeland. And it's like, I was thinking the other day, I was reading some information about it. I thought, well, where is the football field? Do you have enough land for all this? But apparently you do.
Well, we do, and thankfully we've been able to use the land that was the former University Christian School, but we've expanded the stadium, and we have been able to buy some land behind the school, 13 acres that go to Wirtz Road alongside of Luckney, and so we've got plans for that, but it's allowed us to expand parking, which is a necessary thing, and I can appreciate parking on nights when you have events and ball games. So
one of these days you'll probably build a parking building, a parking tower. That could be if you need the room. It's a wonderful school. How do you rank in academics? And that's the other thing, private schools versus public schools or private schools together.
Yes.
How do you rank?
No, that's a great question. And so Hartfield's a college preparatory school, and we've got 32 hours of dual enrollment classes through Belhaven University. And so what I share with our students and families is you can be as challenged as you want to be. And so you don't have to take the dual enrollment courses, but they are there, and we're thankful to have those courses. And oftentimes some of our top students enter in as sophomores in college when they're going to their first year of college.
Which is great. And I like Belhaven, too. We haven't had, I need to have the president on. Haven't had him on in a while, Dr. Parrott.
Yes.
And he's been there for a long time. So, you two would know each other probably pretty well. And that's a great university. And that's all pretty cool stuff. Do you have a thing? One of the public schools, I did a story, an interview with some people, a teacher and their kids. Oh, gosh, it was last year sometime. One of the public schools has a thing where you can take like medical school things when you're in high school. Maybe it's juniors and seniors. And so if you're going to go to medical school, you've got some basics. Is that sort of how it works for you?
Yeah, so if you were to have those desires, then we'd push you toward the biologies instead of more the physical sciences. So if I wanted to be an engineer, we need to take you down a track for physics and physical science. And then if you want to be in the medical sciences, there are some offerings there. And
so
we're thankful.
Through Belhaven?
Yes, some of them, like the dual credit A&P is taught by a former professor at UMC. So Dr. Kim Simpson does a great job with that group, and she has a medical science club. And things like the medical helicopter land on the baseball field, and they have a tour of that. They do a lot of fun things, and you've got to do things to make it fun for students.
Helicopter. Oh, they do air care, I would presume. They saw air care. That's a bigger one than Skycopter was. That's like huge. And that's a whole nother genre. The medical helicopters. That's another thing. But how do you do with STEM type classes and things of technology, robotics, and all that kind of stuff? I'm sure you have it.
Absolutely. So the robotics team has been very successful, and that's something that students, they grow up playing Lego, and they have great creative minds, and they need to find these areas to be able to dive into, use their computer science abilities. And of course, if you're like me, then anybody that's under 10 years old knows more about how to manage and navigate an iPad than I do. So all those things are interwoven together, and we've got a great leader for our robotics team and program.
But you do have a robotics team. Is it classroom stuff? Is it courses, or is it? Or what is it?
Well, they're embedded in the science classes, but the robotics team is after school, and so they set up. It's really amazing. They set up big. They have names for the tracks, and they have different challenges each year. And they say this year the challenge is to pick up. To build a robot that can pick up ping pong balls and put them in different places. And so they have different challenges each year. And if you go into the gymnasium during a robotics competition, there are just hundreds of students managing those robots. And
I bet that's cool.
Absolutely.
Like robotic dogs I'm thinking of. You see those going down the streets.
That's the world we live in now.
Not in our streets, but, I guess you have to go to New York City, but you have all that. What do you do? The big thing that gets talked about a lot is, because as school started, cell phones in the classroom. We got to have them. We don't got to have them. We don't want them. We want them. How do you manage that?
Well, there's been a big swing in education, and I think it's a good swing from probably 10 years ago, where people were saying, boy, if you don't have one-to-one, you're falling behind. This year, to answer your cell phone question, no, we do not have them in the classroom. And we have different ways to manage that with junior high and high school. Junior high, they don't bring them in. They're never to be seen. High schoolers, when they're at lunch, they can take them out. But that swing just generally, I think I don't know if it's national or regional, but there's been a swing to pull back on the technology in the classroom.
Yes.
We have had parents that say, thank you for having books. There
Books?
are places
what
that.
Are those?
Well, that's right.
Yes,
so
exactly.
when we're assigning iPads and we say, hey guys, there's an option for a textbook on your iPad, or you can have the textbook. And they choose the textbook.
Good.
And it is something that's easier to study, and they've got enough screens in their lives. So parents are very appreciative when we are pulling back and putting boundaries and limitations on that. And I think nationally that same trend is, you'll see it anywhere, to say, hey, we don't want the cell phones in the classroom. We don't want the cell phones in their hand constantly.
Yeah, there have been some places and some companies that have come up with like old flip phones where you just can put no internet connection or anything like that. Just open up a flip, and it would call emergency, and it would call your parents or your guardian or whatever. Do we do that here? Does anybody have that here?
Well, we don't have those kind of boundaries, but yes, absolutely. I see students and parents that say, I want to slow down my 8th grader's ability to access everything in the whole world.
Well, then you know what? You just hit delete.
That's exactly right.
It's a real handy thing.
And we push our
delete
students.
Button.
And another encouragement we tell them is, if you're a parent that doesn't want your child on social media, for example, if you can get 4 friends to come together and you decide with the parents together, we're not going to allow, whether it be Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, whatever the latest TikTok for students is, your child is not going to be able to come home and say, well, all my friends have it and I don't. So I've got a junior in high school who I made that deal with, 4 or 5 of his parents' friends. We told the students, hey guys, you're going to have a cell phone. We want to give you the ability to communicate as you need to, but we're not doing social media. And it's not been a problem because his 4 greatest friends, his closest friends, don't have it either.
That's a great way to do things. Did you think that up?
No, absolutely not.
So it's an idea that's out there. Anyway,
well, it's an idea that was shared. One of our evenings that we have for parents is called Covenant Conversations. 3 or 4 times a year, we serve dinner at the school and have speakers. And so one of the speakers came in. It's from an organization called Osprey. Old school parents engaging. That's right, educating or engaging youth.
Yeah.
So Osprey's strategy is to encourage parents to delay the cell phone and the access. And one of their strategies is to say, hey, make an agreement with your friends and then do it together. And then it has power.
Great. That's great. I feel very sorry for people who let their kids just have at it. and who knows what's out there. It's bad stuff.
But I see that swinging too with
A lot of bad
parents.
stuff.
It is swinging back from the full freedom and I want you to be happy, and it is coming back to a parenting style that I think is on the horizon that is helping students understand and deal with consequences. And I think it is a very healthy momentum change.
Oh, absolutely. I've got a couple cousins up in Midland, Michigan, home of Dow Chemical, and it's a very progressive, not that political progressive, but it's progress up there and doing a lot of things. And these boys are in, let's say they're in 7th and 11th grades. And, my cousins got to watch them like hawks, but funny terminology, but they do that sort of thing. I don't know that they have the four or five groups like that, but they've always been very restrictive on what they do with those kids.
And when our students come back from college, they thank us.
Yeah.
And they say, I miss not having the full access to everything. I miss our times of what we call chapel is awakening. They miss the mission trips they get a chance to go on. And so I do believe that human nature is to want and seek all the freedom we can get. But as our students gain maturity, they see the value in the restrictions and the boundaries that parents or schools or communities that they have within those systems.
What's new at Hartfield this year? Because school just started. What's new?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. No, we're excited about the year. We're 3 weeks in. It has been a fantastic year. We've got a new school theme. Each year we have a school theme, and
this year's is?
This year's is First Things First. It's an encouragement to prioritize their relationship with God first, and behind that, all things will fall into place based on Matthew 6:33. Seek first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added to you. So the message there for our students is, hey, make sure you understand priorities. Get the right ones first, and then things will fall into place.
How do you incorporate Christianity with classes? Is it in all textbooks and classes, or is it a special class, or is it both?
That's a great question. No, we want it to be implemented in everything that we do. We want it to be a part of who we are. It's certainly our faculty and coaches that we hire are followers of Christ, different denominations.
I was going to say, denominations, everybody, well, it's all the same God. If people would only understand there's some denominations that don't care for. So it's like, hey, but the big picture is God. It's God up here.
Yeah, so biblically, we have the same standards, but a lot of different denominations. But no, when you're teaching science, it's an easy application to teach them biblically. And but I think what we want our teachers to do is they're teaching history and math. There are ways to incorporate your faith. It's not a devotional. It's not just a prayer to start the class, although I'm sure that's an encouragement to our students. It's seeing things through the lens of a biblical worldview. And if you can understand God's world, which is education, understanding the world that we live in, and you can understand God's word and see how they're interwoven, I think we've got the greatest ability to launch these arrows to pierce the darkness ahead. And so they're going and stepping into careers and colleges, and we want them to have stable feet in high places. And
you've got, this is off the beaten record, sort of, but you've got athletics. So I was going to narrow it down because we just have about a minute or two left. Getting into the football season, because your people they've been, all this heat they've been practicing, haven't they?
They do.
It must have been brutal.
They do.
Did you do it early morning and in the evenings? You had to change times, I'm sure.
Well, unlike some organizations or businesses, you don't get a slow start. When it starts, it is going full speed. So we've got the volleyball teams, we've got cross country out there running, softball's playing, and of course the football team too. So we're excited about JT and Borky on Friday nights at SuperTalk, and love having Hartfield Hawks on 97.3.
Well, there's a promo on your website, and you see the two guys talking about it, and I saw that. I didn't realize that you had a stadium. It's just right there. I mean, it's all
brand new on the home side. Beautiful addition.
This is with the red in the middle.
That's right.
Is that what? Because that's where they're standing. You can see that.
So for years we had 500 seats, and this is a fun story that I can share with you. We didn't have enough seats in our stadium. It seated 500 on the home side, but we were a struggling, growing football team. So we decided we were going to have fun. And we opened up the end zones for tailgating, and everybody would bring their food, and they would have a great time in community. And we'd look up the scoreboard, and we would be down 38-3 at halftime. And that was years ago. We started it 11 years ago. And so now we've built a stadium that can properly seat our fans, but everybody still hangs out, has a great time.
And great food in the end zone.
And absolutely. The 38-3 would be reversed.
And now, thankfully, we've had a couple of good seasons.
You'd be the 38. Yeah, you have. What division are you?
Well, we're in the top level of the MAIS.
which stands
In the
for?
past year, it was the Mid-South Association of Independent Schools. And so in the past 4 years, we've been in the 6A highest division. And now they've realigned things, and we're in the highest division, which is now 4A.
Well, Lance, you've been watching them for all these years. You know, you're a Rankin County guy, and you're a sports guy. So aren't you thrilled at their progress? All of a sudden, whoo,
Yes.
here they are.
First and foremost, I have a niece and nephew that go to this amazing school, so I've watched it grow, watched them grow, watched them become better kids and smarter. And if you ever want to go look at a great lunch menu, just go to Hartfield Academy and check it out. It's top notch. They don't do anything that's not top notch, is what I was kind of getting at.
Nice.
And my experiences there, I know Miss Kim fed us well in the end zone for seasons. Caleb and I have a blast. We've all enjoyed it, from the athletic director to Coach Bowman to getting to know players. Just a wonderful place. And I'm so honored that, I get to do the high school football scoreboard show on Friday nights. Now, it will be the first thing that we cover every Friday night at 10:05 will be Hartfield football. JT or Borky will come on and give us the lowdown. So it's a great addition. We're looking forward to it.
Have you had to hire more coaches as you get bigger and bigger and bigger?
No, of course. I think we've grown, of course, from 600 to 1325 over the last 11 years. And so we've hired more teachers and more coaches. And we've been committed to making sure that we do it slowly, but in a way that's healthy. And we've gotten to a place now, I think, that we are probably at capacity and not just going to keep growing for the sake of growing, but being able to meet our mission.
Well, baseball rules in the spring, but football rules, as you all, if you don't know, the football rules the state of Mississippi, and it starts at high school football, which is so exciting, really, because these kids are going to go into college football, a lot of them, and that's a wonderful thing. But to watch the high school games, there's some amazing stuff that happens there.
It is, and it's a community event, and it is one where you see from the youngest K-3 students running through and having fun, and thankfully we've got some really great areas for them to play and do it freely so the parents can watch the game or go enjoy time with their friends, and their kids are playing behind them in a fenced area.
And
so it's
scouts can be out there too, can't they?
We've had several of those.
I would imagine, they probably start off
I
early.
have to embarrass him before he leaves, though. During the 4 years he played for the Mississippi College basketball team, David Horner, a dynamic 6'6" perimeter shooting forward, he helped the Choctaws amass an 88-18 record.
Whoa!
Now, where are you getting this information, Lance? That's
I'm good at what I do, Dave.
That's some impressive
He can look
research.
stuff up.
I had a lot of good teammates and a fantastic coach.
That was fun. Well, thank you so much for being here with us.
I enjoyed it thoroughly, Marilyn.
I'm really glad to know more things about Hartfield. I'm really happy for you, and congratulations on being a part of our family here at SuperTalk.
Well, thank you.
Do great things. All right, we'll be back on the other side. Stay with us. Well,
Three Dog Night is off.
in about 200 or 300 years, that will be opera. They'll be, that's what they did back then,
I've got the opera coming.
300. Oh, you do? Okay.
I just didn't know which one y'all wanted to roll with today,
okay.
so I was going to listen good.
I do not have my thinking cap on. My brain is still kind of fried from last week's. I did a lot of yard work, and it was I had to do it, and it was hot and horrible. Oh, did you have that picture? It was so silly. This is a funny
I'm
thing.
getting it pulled up.
Okay. I've got in the studio, I have Lynn Wentworth, our ambassador, a cultural ambassador, and I got Barbara Travis, and she's Her Highness, right? And Barbara knows everybody and knows everything between the two, and they both talk more than I do. And they're going to talk about the new opera year, the new opera season. And both of you are both of you on the opera board? Welcome, by the way. Are both of you on the board?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
We are.
Well, no wonder. No wonder they're here. Of course, you would be both on the board. So, you finding it yet? It's
I've just flipped it around for you.
Oh,
so yeah.
it's okay
We
because
got
I
Dolly
can't.
Parton Wieden.
And look at this with Perez. Okay, this was long ago. It was some radio thing that we attended, and so I was to be Dolly Parton. So I ran this big wig, and I shall we say, augmented myself. Good word. Augmented myself with a large piece of underwear stuffed with pantyhose, but you can't see it in that picture. But and I still have that piece of underwear buried in my drawer. But anyway, that's the funny thing. And so Perez sent me that today. Hey, Perez, thank you very much. And not exactly opera. Well, Dolly Parton will be opera one day too. Anyway, so how are we doing in our season? And how many performances will there be?
Well, we just got started, or getting started next Thursday with. We have a new director, John Christopher Adams. Remember, he was here when we were promoting the Magic Flute a few months ago.
Die Zauberflöte?
So he has a State Farm agency in Alabama, but he's moved here. He's an MC graduate and has performed literally around the world. So now he's our director. And our first show, An American Canvas, an Evening of Art Songs, will feature John Christopher Adams, and Tyler Kemp is his accompanist.
And what will they perform?
It's songs that none of us have ever heard before.
Really?
It's 2 or 3 composers, and I don't think anybody on the opera board is familiar with them. So, folk songs, won't be too much opera.
I was going to say they're not arias.
No, they're not arias.
Okay.
They're traditional folk songs.
Well, that's
and
interesting.
so that will be an interesting show.
Hey, and you were saying Mr. Adams is from out in our way, Fannin,
Yes,
Mississippi.
yes, yes.
Grew up in Brandon.
Well, it was Fannin
Yeah,
is
that's where the
actually
chicken is.
Yeah.
right, Lance, and I'm particularly fond of him because he graduated from Northwest Rankin High School.
That's my
Well,
spot.
see,
there you go.
yeah.
My
And
sister
I
is
have-
97.
Rankin County's rule.
I have to tell you, and I have 2 sons that graduated there. And at that time, when he was there, Jean Massey was the principal,
Jean,
I
goodness.
think, and she's wonderful. And I was doing an event out at the Jackson Country Club for Rotary, I think, and I had John Christopher singing that national anthem and some other things. And Jean was in the audience, and she looked up there, and she hadn't seen him since high school, and she just went crazy. They had a reunion, and it was just great. But he's a Rankin County guy.
And he grew up in Fannin.
Fannin,
Yes.
Mississippi. Yeah.
Well, what is the causeway? There's I think the railroad tracks are still underneath it. Maybe.
They dug them up, but you can see
you
can see absolutely still see the track from Google Earth.
Well, there was a train that went from Jackson to Fannin. That was the thing you could do. Yes, I know that. That's about all I know. But I know. Well, some of those tracks you can still see coming out of Palisades when the water's real low. If you go to their little dock there by the clubhouse, if the water's real low, you can see some tracks. And supposedly on Peninsula Drive was where the tracks ended up. Anyway, great things. So he's the new director.
Yeah.
And is he replacing Stacy?
Yes, Stacy's in the State Opera of Idaho.
Oh, okay. Stacy's
She's a
Treviso.
director up there now.
Yeah.
So that's at the plant, which is on Commerce Street. It's called the Fondren Industrial District.
That's where you're going to. Yeah. So where are you going to be performing opera this
That's
year?
the first show, and that's next Thursday. Then on October the 27th,
plant.
we finally get back to Dueling Hall.
Okay.
And that is an evening with the Pink Panther, the music of Henry Mancini. Inspector Clouseau will be there. The Pink, the Pink
Inspector
Panther will be
Clouseau?
there, and
Ooh.
there is a chant. If you're not familiar with the Pink Panther,
Are you Inspector Clouseau?
the Pink Panther is a diamond,
Oh, okay.
and it was stolen. And there is a possibility that some prominent Jacksonian has the diamond. So we may reveal that, we may not. But Henry Mancini music is just absolutely fabulous.
But you have to adopt it or adapt it. I mean, to opera, right? Or no? You don't sing it operatically.
No,
Oh, okay. Well, that's
but
interesting.
that's show tunes.
But you are Inspector Clouseau. What was his one of his famous sayings?
That is correct.
Does your
That
dog?
is correct.
It's not my dog.
Remember that one? Does your dog bite? No,
It's not my dog.
If you have never seen it, that's so funny.
And then that one, I would like a rim.
A rim. No, you want a rim. And you say, a rim.
So that's the second show. Then on, let's see, on 12/12, and this is going to be at the Gene Pittman Williams Recital Hall at Mississippi College, The Christmas Gift, an opera by James Slater, who is a retired music professor at Mississippi College.
Okay.
And this, I think it was first performed 2016, and it's a heartwarming story of 2 brothers and a group of nuns. But we may have priests this time.
Well, whatever you wish. And then?
Then on Sunday, 2/1 of 2026, we have the John Alexander National Vocal Competition, which is named after John Alexander, who is a famous opera singer who sang at the Met for years and years. He was from Meridian. And so we started this competition a few years ago with just Mississippi artists, and then we expanded it to opera singers throughout the country. Have 2 or 3 different categories: a professional and a up and rising star, and then Broadway. We've brought in Broadway too, and typically we'll have. We had almost 300 applicants from over the country last year. Well, so we bring in the winners, and they sing. Then they do a concert. Arias show so it'll be Broadway and opera.
Well, I got to get Barbara in on this. Have you ever been an opera performer? What gets you into opera?
Mary, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know very little about music. I'm a dancer. I'm not a singer, and I have been on the opera board for a good many years. Don't ask me why, because I do not know music as this gentleman does.
But you know everybody.
I do, but I'm there because I love music. I love the stage. And to me, the opera is a combination. It's actually just a stage play set to music, and I love the live, being in person there and watch. And it's just so emotional, and it's, you laugh, you cry, you're mad, it's just great. So I've been on that board, I think, more in a marketing capacity. And to try to showcase some of the performers.
You'll probably book some of the performers here.
Yeah.
On my show, no doubt.
All you want.
Yeah. But people need to understand, and I always say this, don't be intimidated by opera. Don't think, I don't know anything about opera. You don't have to know anything about opera.
Exactly.
What is opera? What we consider opera back in the day, a couple hundred years ago, or however many years ago, it was a long time ago. Anyway, that was their popular stuff. That was their top 10 or whatever. They didn't have anything to equate that to, but that was very popular music, and it's different for us because our music is not like that. But it's not intimidating at all.
It's not.
Even if you don't understand German or Italian, it's the feeling that you get when you hear a song, even though you don't really know what it's about, because the music is so intense, and some of the things that arias that we all hear and are familiar with, but a lot of us have no idea what they're singing.
Right.
Most operas now do subtitles.
I was going to say, you had a subtitle. You had subtitles at dueling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There was I went to this thing a couple of years ago. It was 2 operas in one night, and it was a tragedy and a comedy. And the comedy, I remember that one because that was done in English, and it was set in Mississippi, and not in reality, but
they adapted it to Mississippi. It was about a used car dealer in Kosciuszko.
The guy said, "I'm the mayor of Kosciuszko." I remember that. I was like, "No, that's cool. People should come to this and see this." You don't have to be an opera aficionado. You just gotta like music and have fun. Yeah, that was a hoot. That was
that was a good show.
Yes.
We had the after party at our home, and the people stayed until about 3 a.m.
Whoa! What time did you go to sleep? Oh, about midnight.
Yeah. But they were very polite. They asked, "Do we need to leave?" I said, "No, you can stay." So.
Oh, I didn't know about that one.
Those after parties are fun.
I bet there was good food.
When you watch the whole performance and then you come after that and see them not in costume, just having fun. It's just a wonderful experience. All
that
the way
would be
around.
the good part. That would be the good part of it. Yeah. So how come I didn't get invited? No, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have intruded, shall we say. I was with a group of people, though. There were about 4 of us, I guess, and we got the biggest kick out of the whole thing. It was really lots of fun. If you want to call up and ask questions about the opera, you can do so at 888-808-8637. You can text us at 601-879-4395. And you can watch us at supertalk.fm/Mary because we live stream. And later on, after the show, it will be posted to YouTube. And all you have to do to find out where it is on YouTube, you just go to the search bar and search Mary Wieden and you, and you'll find the shows. And here's the funny thing. The way Lance sends them in without commercials, but they put their own commercials in. And they can pop up anytime. And they don't, you put them in.
Yeah, that's the fun stuff. That I don't control, right?
I know,
don't blame me.
That's not your control. And then the other thing is they don't, there can be a page that comes up, and there might be something, might start with a show from 3 years ago, and then a show from last week. They arrange them in some sort of convoluted way, I think.
I'm not sure how it actually peoples into, say, YouTube, but usually our side will be chronological.
Right.
But it's great. You never know, because Mary is ageless. It could have been like a 2021 interview. And
exactly.
She's not changed a bit.
We're now hair the same way.
No, I don't mean it that way. I'm just like, you
same outfit she wore that 4 years ago. Yes.
I've seen a few of those. I'm like, I'm not any part to do with that. That's years ago, you know.
Yeah.
You just got that ageless way
But
about
just,
you.
Maybe I should alter my thing. But anyway, but anyhow, so if you want to see a show, you just got to scroll through and look for, there's a little place I'll say today or a day ago or something like that. But so there are ample.
Usually the date will be on there. Look for 25. That'll be the more recent ones.
Yeah,
and there may be a sort feature.
So when did you start
here
having video?
We'll answer that question on the other side. Here we go. A little opera music, folks.
This is Mr. John Christopher Adams.
Yeah,
he is in Of Mice and Men, singing The Stroke of Aria.
And thank you very much. And he's the new director.
Yeah, and he's got the first show.
Oh, well, there you go. Now, how did you find that?
Just dig around a little. Confirm it through 8 different sources to know it's the right person, and then go from there.
Yeah, that sounded really good.
Yes.
My thing, I had never heard of. I know the music from Nessun, the aria from
Nessun Dorma?
Yes, yeah,
From Turandot, whichever.
Yeah, that's the other thing we talked about. Turandot or Turandot. Either is correct. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, the fascinating thing was that one day Pavarotti was ill, and it so happened that, I don't think it so happened, but Sister Ree, as we called her in Detroit, Aretha Franklin, was in the audience. Yeah, she was known as Sister Ree, because she was with her daddy's gospel thing, and that was a nickname that Detroiters had for her. Anyway, so he couldn't perform. Pavarotti couldn't perform, and he asked her to do it, and you can find it on YouTube, and it's fascinating. Lynn, you've, I'm sure, heard it many times. Got Lynn Wentworth and Barbara Travis here. You've heard.
Yes.
Fascinating. But Aretha Franklin does opera. Right. Had you not heard it, Barbara?
No, I had not.
Well, here you go. Put that. And for those of you also like, what? Yes. Look, Sister Aretha. Just put Aretha Franklin opera, and you should find it. Or you could do Turindot, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Turandot or Turandot, or sings opera aria. You can do that. Anyway, so this man, the new director, that's him.
He's got a fabulous voice.
And he's the guy originally from Fannin.
Exactly.
Do you know who works at the Met? Who's from Mississippi?
No.
Louisville? William Fulton. You remember him?
Yes, William Fulton.
He works at the Met now.
What, doing what?
He has a part in just about every production. Of course, he's still teaching language. He works in the gift shop, and so if you're ever going to New York to the Met, call William. He can.
Yes, William Fulton was on public radio for years.
Wonderful.
I don't know what I can't remember. I guess he hosted. It wasn't talk or music. He did music, right? Played music.
Yeah, but he's one of the co-MCs of the International Ballet Competition every time, and they signed him up for the next one, which is 2 years from now.
Did he come here for that? Did he come back?
Mm-hmm.
He comes back to Mississippi. Yeah. Well, that's pretty fascinating. So Barbara knows everybody, and one of the things that one of the people that she knew is, I didn't tell this on the air earlier, that she brought this woman to this luncheon club we belonged to, a young woman who did a lot of things. She was from Ukraine, and she was a dancer and very entrepreneurial. Well, it turns out she's Miss Mississippi.
Exactly.
How did you feel about that?
Oh, I was just ecstatic. In fact, as I was in the audience with her family, and they were kind enough to even give me my ticket, so I was crazy happy. And texting with her at like 1 a.m. afterwards. And then we keep in communication now. So she's on her way to Miss America, and I think we'll have one.
When is Miss America?
First week of September.
Oh my gosh, that's next week. Well, actually later this week or Monday.
Yeah, and she'll be on her way probably next week.
Wow. See, Barbara Travis knows everybody. Now she's on. I didn't know you're on the opera board for all this time. So go through and tell some of the storylines of the season. Well, you're starting off with a musical collection, right?
Yep, and then of course we have the Pink Panther, or the Henry Mancini songs.
Yes.
Then the John Christopher Adams opera competition with folks from around the country.
How many of them will there be
coming in? I'm not sure how many we have this year because we're still in the process of auditioning for that. Then our last show, April the 24th and 25th at Dueling Hall, Songs for a New World, and I'll just read the promo on it.
Okay.
Not just a musical, it's a thrilling theatrical appearance that dives deep into the heart of human emotion, created by Tony Award winner Jason Robert Brown. The powerful stage production blends the passion of pop, the soul of gospel, and the finesse contemporary music into a dynamic song cycle that explores life-altering moments of change. Each scene is a self-contained, vivid emotional snapshot of people standing at the edge of transformation. Whether it's the leap of faith before a new beginning, the heartbreak of loss, the rush of love, or the courage to break free. So it's going to be good.
It'll be very good.
And that's back at Dueling Hall, which is a
Well, I want to
wonderful
ask you that
place.
because
we love Dueling
all
Hall.
these different places because Thalia Mara is down.
Right.
When is Thalia Mara? Do you know when is Thalia Mara coming back? And how hard is it? I mean, it's one thing to be in a place like New Stage, and they have things in storage and everything is there. Lighting, sound, the most important things, I would think. And so even more so for opera. Well, you don't have so much microphones for opera. But what I'm saying is, you have to move everything around with every performance.
Let me tell you about something that you may want to check out on Facebook. It's the Thalia Mara Doomsday Clock.
Oh. Okay.
So just look at that on Facebook, and you'll get.
I don't belong to
information.
Facebook, but I, I'm going to have to, I guess. The Doomsday Clock. So that tells you maybe it'll be open. Do you know? And, go ahead, Barbara. What were you gonna-
I don't. Lynn, do you know when it will open? I keep
No
hearing
one
different
knows.
things, so that's what I'm saying. I hear
Yeah,
different things.
No one knows for sure.
But Mary, one thing I would like to throw out there, other than all the information that Lynn is talking about, is those of us who are on the board. What do we do? What is it that we do?
I was going to say, 'cause you
Since
do
I don't sing, I'm a marketing person, but I have loved being on that board because I've learned so much, and it's a variety of people, and of course most of them do have a musical knowledge of the opera, but there are a lot of challenges there other than finances, which all cultural and arts organizations, the venues, but also when you have these performers that are here, they have to be fed, they have to have a place to stay, they have to have transportation, and those are the kind of things that the board members are there to help with. Fundraising, of course, but also all these amenities that have to be taken care of for the performers.
I wonder about, is it the board decision? Like, you're not doing operas per se, it's other things, musical things, not full-blown operas per se. Who decides that you're going to go that way? And what?
Well, the artistic director, Jay Dean, and the board. The artistic director and the director usually present a program, and then the board approves it. And we all usually go along with what they have suggested because they know the most about it.
Well, does that bring in more people? You're reaching out and you're doing different things. Like, it's not standard opera stuff. So you can bring in much more of an audience, a more diverse audience, or are there some people who say, no, all I want is opera. I want to hear opera.
Well, you have to get them as a customer first. And if you can get a person to come to one thing, then maybe they'll come to the opera. But operams.org is where you can get tickets. Everything is online. You can donate at operamississippi.org.
Yeah, how do you raise your money besides,
And we're starting
tickets?
next Thursday night, September the 4th, at the Plant, John Christopher Adams.
Well, how do you raise money other than by selling tickets?
There are grants also, and of course ticket sales. We always are emphasizing that because we do want that diverse audience. But grants, primarily, now Lynn has been there a lot longer than I have. So Lynn, you may know all the other sources. But board members are encouraged to not only contribute but to go out and help. Solicit donations, sponsorships, that sort of thing.
Well, how old is the opera in Mississippi?
80 years.
Oh,
in fact, I'm
wow.
glad you asked because this is our 80th anniversary.
That's right.
I was going to say, it's 80th
Right.
anniversary.
80th anniversary.
Wow. And hanging in there. I imagine a lot of cities are losing them just because people don't necessarily place all that emphasis on cultural things as they should, I think. It's a story of people. It's a different side of people, but it's an important part of us. But 80 years, huh? So what are you going to do?
80 years.
What's going to be your big production to celebrate the 80th year? Or is it the whole season?
It's the whole season this year. And next year we'll be doing bigger things as we raise more funds.
Do you know what some
But
of them
this
are?
year, if you'll just go on the website, operams.org, take a look. We have a wonderful season with several different productions in different places.
Yeah. And
Mississippi College, Dueling Hall, and the Plant.
again, is it difficult in moving all that stuff around? Somebody's
Yes,
got to be in charge.
it
You know,
is.
yeah, because you can't say, "Oh, I forgot the costumes."
Yeah, the bigger the opera,
can't-
the more elaborate the
stuff.
sets, the more elaborate the costumes. The Magic Flute was probably just an opinion. I think that's the most outstanding production we've ever done. It was unbelievable.
And where was it done at? Was it done at?
Did it at
At the-
Mississippi College, then we did it in Natchez with the Natchez Festival of Music.
Oh, that's right. You do work with.
And John
Natchez.
Christopher had a prominent part in that too. He was like 12 feet tall.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's already about 6'8". So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a very, very tall, big man.
And as the director of the opera, he has to do. Oh, here we go. We're out of time. He's got to do everything. All right. So this coming Thursday is what? Is it this Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday at
A week from Thursday.
at the Plant with John Christopher singing.
And I got to thank Lynn Wentworth and Barbara
And
Travis.
he's singing the national anthem at the Saints game on the 14th
And we're doing.
in New Orleans.
And we're doing. This is my theme song. What you talk.
That's-
Do you like that?
I love it.
What you talk. What you talking about?
I love it.
All right, everybody. See you on Friday. I got a
Yeah.
fun guest for you. Terry Vandeventer, Mr. Herpetologist, Mr.
Oh, the snake
Snakes. Yes. See you then, everybody.